Hey, it's Patrick. Welcome to my Expat Animator series, where I help beginners, hobbyists, and independent animators create 2D animations. So what am I talking about when I say you should be storyboarding with big markers? When I say big markers, I'm talking about, something that's a decent sized tip and you won't be able to get a lot of detail out of when you're drawing. I personally don't believe in detailed storyboards. There may be a time and place for them, especially if your client is requesting them. But if you're working on your own projects, you're going to know what your shots are just by some very crude drawings. You don't need the detailed imagery that you would if, say, your client doesn't understand what your storyboards are trying to convey. So in that case, you may need to make storyboards a little more detail, and maybe the big marker is not going to work for that. But for what I do and trying to work quickly, the big markers are actually a really good tool. Remember, storyboards are meant as a guide, and guides that are quick to draw are easier to change and course correct if your scenes aren't working out the way you thought. So instead of spending a lot of time trying to make your storyboards nice and detailed, you should be making them quick, rough, and dirty so that you can make changes quickly if need be. For example, if you spend a lot of time on your storyboards, you're kind of proud of your storyboards, and you might be less likely to make changes to your story even though there's a problem with your story. Remember, less detail in your boards means less time making them. Using big markers forces you to not dwell on the details in your drawings, and it makes you get to the big idea of each shot. Crude drawings can still get the point across of what characters you need in the shot, what sizes they are, the composition. These things can be conveyed very quickly, and you just really need a guide so that when you go to draw your animation for that shot or that scene, then you just reference your storyboard and see what you need to place down in your animation. Do you need a medium shot, an extreme close-up, or even a bird's eye view? Big markers will get you there the quickest. Well, what about color, you might ask? I don't use color in my storyboards, and you probably shouldn't either. Again, it's just spending more time on something that you don't need. And if your storyboards are all black and white, what you can do is you can take a red pen and draw on top of your storyboards for either edits or things like motion arrows, like camera pans or things like that the red arrow can kind of direct the eye or the camera or some action that's happening in the shot. So by keeping it to just, two colors basically, black and then red, you're forcing yourself to keep to the basics. I used to do all my storyboards on paper. The problem with paper is it's kind of a pain if you need to reorder your sequences. So say you want one shot to move in front of another one. When it's on paper, it's not that easy to make that edit. So at some point, you do probably want to go digital with your storyboards. But if you don't want to go digital for your storyboards, another option is to just use 3x5 cards to do your drawings. And then you can pin those up on a big board and move things around. And I've done that in the past, actually, where my storyboard was a big board up on the wall, and then I could easily move things around, with push pins and 3x5 cards. But if you are going to go digital with your storyboards, there's a lot of options out there. In the past, I've used InDesign, which is probably not the best option, but I use it a lot for my client work, so I'm very familiar with the program. And it works okay for storyboards. And depending on how you build your file, it can be good for rearranging shots and easily changing out drawings from one to another or updating your drawings. So InDesign might be an option for you. But I'm curious, what are you guys out there using for your digital storyboards? I've got a couple in mind that I'll talk about in another video, but that's not the point of this video. Leave me the softwares you guys use in the comments below. I'm always open to learning new software if it'll speed up my workflow. So the next time you're drawing up some storyboards, try grabbing a big marker and some 3x5 cards, and if you want to go digitally, you can take your phone and snap some images of those and bring them in, and then you'll have them digitally where you can move things around if you need be or swap them out. But by forcing yourself to use that big Sharpie line, you're instantly making your drawings easier and forcing yourself to not focus on the detail of the drawing, which will save you time and stress in getting your animation project done. I bet you'll get more done in less time, which will just give you more time for the real fun of animating. Well, that's it for today. My name's Patrick. Thanks for watching and keep on animating.